Okay. So hello everyone. Welcome to the Frequency Soul Collective. We're so excited to have you here tonight. I cannot believe that it's almost the end of September and that October is just around the corner. So just a reminder for those of you, end of month is coming. So just check all of your figures, follow up with any of your QLAs or PCs that in case they need anything. And then, into October we come. Before we get started tonight, I'm actually not going to do the reminders because I just, to be honest, have not had time. So I'm going to go through all the reminders and all the new incentives and all of the new things next week because I was trying to put all of this into a slideshow today and I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. We don't even have what the new incentive trip is on this particular slideshow. We can tell you all about it, but it's just, there was so much information to share that we're going to do like a part 2 next week. But one thing that is probably more pressing and more important than any of that, and many of you know this person, so I really wanted to share this live on the call, let Bronnie in, is our beautiful customer care support, Andrea, over in the US. Andrea has been with the company for a very long time, certainly longer than me. I've known her from pretty much when I started, and she's been an enormous support, to everybody, but particularly to our Australian team and to Frequency Soul Collective. And we catch up with her when we go over. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have dinner or anything with her this trip because she's had some stuff going on, which is what I want to share with you guys. And I can say this because public information now. I haven't been able to say anything for a long time. Those of you who are friends with her on Facebook probably already know, but unfortunately, Andrea has recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. And tomorrow, and very quickly, like I think she only, I think it's probably been maybe, well, it must have been a month maybe at the very most, because it's probably maybe the week, 2 weeks before DOD. But she worked DOD, she is such a trooper. She did all the things, and now tomorrow morning she's going in for a double mastectomy. So if anybody would like to join the healing group that I'm going to create for her, quite often, if there's some serious stuff going on, we like to create a healing group. And that just doesn't mean frequency. That means, any healing modality, whether it be Reiki, the distance Reiki, any type of healing, like I do psychic surgery stuff. I'm going to be doing that for her tomorrow. Lots of different things. Please just maybe just pop it in the Frequency Soul Collective chat in case I happen to miss it here. But amazing. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sue Ellen. I really appreciate that. Sammy, yeah, anyone who wants to jump in, just let me know and we can do lots of good work for her. She's just, it makes me teary because she's such a beautiful person and such a beautiful friend. She's got a grandbaby. She's got a really good outlook, and obviously she works in the best place possible because everything in the Quantum Wellness Center, all of the things that she has available to her from machines and tools and all of the things are free for her to use because she's a SolEx employee. So she's personally spoken to Lauren and he is going to help her on her healing journey. But please just keep her in your prayers. Just trying to work out. So her operation tomorrow is at 10:30 Utah, like mountain time, and it's 3 a.m. there. So she's only like 7 hours from roughly sort of seven and a bit hours from her procedure being done. So even if you can run some frequency overnight for her, I know that she would be super grateful. But anyway, moving on from that, I want to share our amazing journey of Day of Discovery. I don't even know how we can possibly put it into just some short videos and pictures and explanations, but we, I promise you, are going to do our best. What we don't cover tonight, we'll definitely try to cover off next week. That's why I thought we better kind of do this in a part 1, part 2 sort of series. So this was a little bit of us leaving. We were just so excited to get on the plane. There was myself, Emma, Julie, Mari, and little Addie. Well, not so little Addie. Little Addie's getting big Addie. She's growing up so super quick. So we left from Brisbane, headed over to LA for the night. and then flew the next day from LA into Utah. We were on the ground for a while in Los Angeles because, as many of you know, Charlie Kirk had been allegedly assassinated in Utah. Those of you who sort of don't know where's where in Utah, Utah's a very, very big state. And that actually happened, that incident happened just a couple of kilometers from the office. So the office is actually right next to University Mall, which is right pretty much next to the university. So we were able to go and see the memorial and all of the things, which was an experience in itself. Here's some photos from DOD. I think one of the things that we love to share is the connections that we make with other people, and people that you just, would not have necessarily known otherwise, or have seen you on Facebook, or, you happen to be sitting next to, or whatever the case may be. It was the messages that I've even had from people that I'd not even met in previous years. There was even a time that for the legacy dinner, we were going to the legacy dinner, and my plans for Addison had fallen through at the last minute. I had strangers that, or people that I'd only ever met once or twice, saying to me, more than happy to take her to our dinner with us, or she can come and chill and watch TV, or I had so many offers. It was very, very sweet. But yeah, she didn't end up going, but it was just really nice to have that community and be surrounded by the hype and the excitement there. So let's talk about some of the, this was just some of the ranks, the new, this is in the office. Some of these slides haven't really been put together very well, so I do apologize. And the person helping me had to duck off, so couldn't kind of fix them for me. So what this really was is just to show you, like, this is our platinum wall, and our beautiful Paige Haynes and Katie Hill from our team are on here. And then we have I now have two accountability partners, so look out. My beautiful friend, Dr. Sheila Day, and my other beautiful friend from over there, Jessica Zavios, as Pearl leaders. So as you can see, there's 6 of us, which is pretty cool. I love that. It used to be an order as to who hit the rank first. So we had a few OCD issues over that, but we got over that pretty quickly. But we did some really great rank recognition. It was just really cool to see all of the up and coming leaders as well. Like, that platinum wall is growing so quickly. It's insane. But for now, we're going to talk about some new products. The new AO energy strips. I know many of you love the new AO drops. I certainly love putting those in my water from time to time. I don't use it every day, but certainly when I need a bit of a pick-me-up. But these are really cool because firstly, they're really easy to travel with. You could just throw them in your bag. I could even just throw a few in my gym bag and just, utilize those when I need. But the thing I love about the AO energy is the sustained energy. So we've got all of this information, by the way, is in your back office. So if you don't happen to catch all of the information today, don't worry too much. But these are like strips. So rather than the drops, these are the AO energy strips. So what this is a dissolvable strip that you literally put onto your tongue that usually ends up on the roof of your mouth. I haven't mastered not happening yet. And they're delicious. So you don't have to worry about taste or anything like that. And as we know, most of the technology of what we use is nanoed. So one of the new clients that I had today, she was talking about how she's just sick of taking so many tablets, and D3K2 was something that she desperately needed. And she's like, I've been taking a supplement, but my levels are still low, and I take, X amount of tablets a day. And I'm like, ours is a spray. She was like, what? That's so much easier. And I'm like, yep. I said, look, don't get me wrong, we still have tablets like capsules, but things like this, people just love. So something easy, quick, doesn't take up space. So I was very happy that they kind of brought this out. Here's some different features of it. Here's what's in it. So even the vitamin Bs that are in this are methylated. So whether people have the MTHFR gene mutation or not, I just love the fact that Solex always think forward about what people are needing. So rather than just bringing out, you know, a blend that's just got, you know, your standard vitamin Bs, they're like, no, even though these ingredients are a lot more money and they do cost them quite considerably more, they're like, it's better to have methylated Bs than not. So that's what they do. So I really love that. As you know, none of our supplementation has fillers. And I think that's probably one of the biggest thing in a supplementation industry, no matter what the supplement is that so many of these products have fillers, and that the fillers are the cheapest part of the product. And that's what fills the product the most. And it's just not okay. And I love that Solex call out companies on it, because that's just, you know, adding to their profits, and Solex are definitely not about that. And then we have AO Vision. So pop a 1 in the chat if you have seen the video from Day of Discovery from Pearl as to how she reversed her glaucoma. If you have seen that video, pop a 1 in the chat, because that video is freaking crazy.
Macular, not glaucoma, macular.
Macular degeneration, yes. Sorry, it was macular degeneration. Thanks, Em. But she is just such a, excuse the pardon the pun, gem. She literally is a gem. That is who the rank Pearl was actually named after. I love that you guys have seen that video. She is so beautiful, and I just know she's so close to Kai and that as well, and just a really special part of the company. They used to be part owners in Solex. I believe that they have sold out now, but they still have a really good relationship with the company. If you haven't seen that video, I believe it's on our AO testimonial group, and it should be on our AO Instagram as well. So, sorry, not AO, Frequency Soul Collective Instagram. If it's not, I'll make sure we get it up there so you can all see it, because that was a really cool story. But I think if there's one thing we know since 2020, after the experiment rolled out, that certainly so many of us are finding is seeing people with major eye degeneration. I have friends who have had detached retinas, their sight, even my sight, like I didn't take part in any experiment, but I feel my eye health not being what it used to be. And I refuse to believe that's got anything to do with age. I much prefer to blame it on something else. But, you know, I have really, really solid and very, very good vision. And it's probably only over the last maybe 3 to 4 months that I've admitted that, oh my gosh, I really probably need to go and get my eyes tested. That's interesting. Rosie's has decreased with pregnancy as well. So yeah, that's where these AO Vision strips, when they brought them out, at first I was like, oh, I probably don't need those. And then I thought, actually, this would be a sensational testimony that I do take it every single day. And by the way, they do taste amazing. They're kind of like a berry flavor, so they're super yummy. And again, it's just another one of those strips. It's just a plant-based oral strip that you put on your tongue, and yeah, they're awesome. So I think that although this in a combination with the illuminator would be a really, like, even make the result better, but I think it's really important for those who struggle with eye health, or, you know, have it in the family, or have the understanding of what can actually happen with spike proteins and things, that we really get onto looking after our eyes. Because when you think about how much you need your eyesight, when you lose it, it's, you know, that's not a good thing. So we want to protect our eyes as much as we possibly can. The next product that they released was the AO Infinity back. So this is sensational. We know that everybody loves the mask. Everybody who's bought the mask, the results have been insane. Actually, one thing we didn't put up here that I'll show next week is the Kai's testimonial of, and you may have seen it in the AO group anyway. He's been using the mask, but he's also been using solidly the collagen every day. And his skin has changed so much, it's unbelievable. But after all of that, they then decided, well, you know what, we need this to be able to treat other areas of the body. And then that's when they've released the AO back. So you can obviously put it on different areas. It's not just for the back. As you can see here, this woman has it on her shoulder. You can put it around your knee, anywhere really on the body. So there's lots of different benefits. It has the red, green, blue, and yellow light, I think, from memory. Let's have a look. So the infrared, blue, green are not yellow. So it's really phenomenal. And I think one of the girls who was with us, was it Mari, I think, had hers sent back to Australia. I actually got the pet one. So that I'll talk about that in a minute. It is wireless to a degree. So it has a wire and a little pack, and the pack is rechargeable just with a USB-C charger that actually has a little pocket in the device, in the AO back or the AO pet or AO glove, and it actually sits in there. So it's portable, so you can walk around with it. You don't have to lay in the one spot. So it's incredible for, as you can see here, like infrared boosts circulation, reduces inflammation, and supports collagen repair and muscle tissue. The deep infrared penetrates deep into the joints and muscles to promote cellular regeneration and long-term pain relief. The blue light calms nerve sensitivity and helps improve skin clarity. Supports healing from the surface conditions like acne or anything like that. So that's really interesting that it's even helping for skin conditions too. The green light supports pain modulation via the nervous system and may help reduce chronic discomfort perception. So, you know, when you look at things like this versus really invasive procedures, this is, and from a cost perspective too, like this is just amazing. I'm sure there are so many of us that know people out there with major, major back pain. I used to be one of them until recently. AO glove, I actually thought of my auntie for this. The minute I saw this, I really thought of her because she has rheumatoid arthritis. And I thought this might be, as much as she's not really a supplementation kind of person, I could have really sort of helped her with this over time long ago. But anyway, I thought maybe something like the AO glove would be really good to be able to help her. The other thing is too, things like carpal tunnel, or people who are using their hands daily in, like, whether it be gardening or have a job with their hands, masseuses. This is just a phenomenal tool. Just to clarify too, this doesn't fit on your feet. They've tried it. They said it's not for your feet, but to be honest, I actually have an issue in my foot at the moment. It's a nerve issue in one of my feet. And when I purchased the AO Pet one, which I'll show you in a minute, I actually sit that literally on the ground, put my foot lightly on it, and I'll just sit there for like 20 minutes, half an hour. So that's a much easier one. But again, all of the different light therapies, which is phenomenal. I just love how I would never even think like that. So I just think it's so clever, the stuff that they think of. When you look at how many of your clients, friends, family are in pain, that we have a solution for them. And I think one of the biggest learnings that was a solid lesson throughout Day of Discovery was it being about, who are we not to share this? You know, this isn't about it being a sales pitch. This is about us just literally speaking up and saying, hey, I've got something that I think could help you. I was at the butcher the other day after coming back from, well, wherever I've been, all over the place. And I've still got jet lag, as you can probably tell. But I was at the butcher and I actually said that to her. I'm like, sorry, I'm talking at like half speed. It was like the day after I got back. And she's like, oh, where have you been? So we got talking. And then she said to me, what do you do? And admittedly, I was tired, and I can usually kind of explain it off the cuff. Now, I could talk about all the corporate stuff that I do and all the different jobs that I have, or, you know, all the, but if I focus on the fact that I work with frequency, that can then has the opportunity to open a conversation. So I'm partnered with a frequency medicine company from the United States, and I was actually over there for a frequency medicine conference. Now, some people wouldn't know what that was, but she was like, oh my gosh, do they do much self-help stuff, like self-development stuff? And I said, yeah, we actually have a phenomenal program called Mind Sync. And I told her about that. She goes, oh, do you listen to Abraham Hicks? And well, that was the end of it, right? So we got into this really great conversation. But the point being is that I was tired. I didn't really want to have a big chat about work because I just got back and I just wanted to go back to bed. But and I actually said to her, I actually don't have any information on me at the minute. But how about next time I'm down, like I'll drop down in a couple of days and I'll drop you some information. I'll give her my card with my website and all of the things. I'll grab her details and I'll offer to do her a free scan. Because when I was telling her about it, she was just like, oh my gosh, that sounds phenomenal. So don't ever just, put to the side anyone that you're talking to that, oh, they probably wouldn't be interested or probably don't even know anything about it. This was the lady who owns the butcher shop. And she actually started telling me the story then as to how through the work of Abraham, she was able to purchase her butcher shop. And I'm like, that's so crazy. I've been down there for so many times. We've met 100 times. But this was the first time that she actually said to me, what's your name? And I told her and I said, what's your name? And it's the first time I've actually known her names. That's really cool. So moving on from that sidebar comment, and I want to share with you about the AO Light Pet, because after DOD that particular day, must have been the first day, I picked Addie up and she was like, how was the day? And, what did you learn? And all of the things. We're having this conversation. And I said to her, oh my gosh, they released this AO mat, like for pets. And I think it would be really good for the animals. And she said to me, how much is it? And I said, well, I couldn't quite remember because it had only just been launched, but I said, I think it's about 200 US. And she said, well, I have just under 300 US for my whole, spending money. And I would like to buy the mat for Abby. She's got an elderly dog that has a bit of hip problems, a few other things going on. And she said, I'd like to spend that money on that. And that just made my heart melt because, that's 2/3 of her spending money gone in the first 3 days just because she wants to look after her pet. So of course that pulled at my heartstrings and I was like, do you know what? We can use this not only with her, but for ourselves. And that's what I've used on my foot. I used it on my mum's legs. You can use it on any part of the body. So just because it says pet doesn't necessarily mean that that's all that it is. But for animals, can you imagine how much of a game changer this is? It's only quite small. However, we've had it on our big dog, particularly with the targeted areas that we've needed for her. But my little dog, she looks so cute in it. But otherwise, we just use it ourselves. I've had it on my back. I've had it on all different areas. So it's brilliant. And actually, Addie wraps it around her knee because she's had a bit of a sore knee because she does a lot of jumping in her sports. So when her knee's sore, it actually comes with this strap, as you can see, that's around this dog here. She actually puts the AO Pet on her knee. She'll actually wrap it around her knee like that. So that's really cool as well. So that these things work when the kids are really into it and like, actually, you know what, I really want one of these. And then AO Rain. Now, we don't have this available in Australia yet, but we're definitely working on it. AO Rain, this is the 2.0 version. And the reason being is that the top part here that actually sends the negative ions. So this is what the device is. It's all about getting negative ions into the body. So that's why it says here that if you've ever noticed how fresh the air feels after a thunderstorm, or why your mood seems better after you've been near a waterfall, deep in the rainforest, or walking along the beach, that revitalizing feeling isn't just in your head, it's the result of the negative ions, the tiny particles in the air that have profound effects on both the environment and on our bodies. So what this is it's actual negative ions flooding the body. And I think I can't remember the exact amount. Em, you might know, it's 1.something million.
1.4
1.4 million
second.
per second. So that is insane. One of the days we were going to DOD, Addie wasn't feeling particularly well. And before I can't even remember where she was going now, but anyway, wherever she was going, I'm like, come into, because at DOD, they actually have a wellness center kind of thing set up. So you can experience all of these things. They don't just set them up and like, they don't just release them and then go, hey, you've got to buy one to experience it. They actually have them there for you to experience. I actually went and sat under one. I kind of felt, I didn't know whether I was just tired, but at one point I actually didn't feel very well myself. And I thought, if I'm starting to get sick, seriously, like I'm not about it. So I actually went and sat under rain for about 20 minutes, half an hour. And within that time, every single physical symptom that I had been feeling was gone. So this is really, really cool. So the girls got to experience a full session of it in the wellness center a few days later. Again, it's not quite available in Australia yet, but if you've seen the old one versus this, you can really see, even from a design perspective, it's very advanced. If you do happen to know anybody within your organization that's overseas that does have one, they do have an upgrade offer, so where you can actually return the old one and actually get the new one, which I think is really phenomenal of the company to do. So we're going to kind of fly through a few of these slides. We're going to show you some more videos and pictures and things as we go. And then I'm going to hand it over to a couple of the girls just to share their experience and what their takeaway was from it. I really love this. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. And I really love this because when you think about from a business perspective, I was talking to one of our QLAs the other day and I said, oh my gosh, you have to come to DOD next year. And the problem with her business is that she is still exchanging time for money. And so if she goes for a week or two, that's a week or two of income completely lost. So I said to her, let's explore the option of getting you some really serious residual income, that if you're not there, whether you're working or you're not working, your check is still coming in. Like I've been working minimally, I've still been working, but minimally over the last, who knows really, I can't even remember how long I've been gone for. It's been a while. And my check is the same, if not increased. So definitely don't count out the opportunity of residual income. It is powerful. And so when you look at this picture, you think about all of the things that you create or how you want things to be, or the vision that you have for yourself, the first part is just starting with the foundation and build it from there. It's like build it one bit at a time. And so even if you set yourself a goal of, hey, I want to introduce, Solex to X amount of people per month, think about how many people you have to talk to have that amount of people come over the line. I'm going to take you for a little walk with me for a second while I grab my water. I'm not in my office today, if you've noticed, because my office has been my dumping ground for all my business stuff since I've been home. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like the last room that has to be done. We're all unpacked, we're washed, everything's away. We're spring cleaning, except the office. All right. One of the talks that was on at Day of Discovery was by one of the new doctors within the organization, Dr. Darlene. And it's really funny because the person who brought her in spoke to her about this 3 years ago. And Dr. Darlene basically told her we're not interested, don't have time for that. She's a neurosurgeon. Is she a neurosurgeon, Em?
Yep, she's a neuroscientist, I think. And she's next level.
She's next level. Oh my gosh. She just blew us away. And the person who enrolled her reached out to her again. You know, it's that whole keep in touch, follow up, all the things. And it was just happened to be that time where Dr. Darlene had a little bit of time, and what was then being explained to her, she was ready to receive. And she was like, hey, I need to know more about this. Now, you think about talking to a neuroscientist or a neurosurgeon about anything, the chances are you're going to think they definitely know more than you. And you're probably right, except about the AO scanner, because she'd never heard of it before. And she'd never even seen this technology of what this QLA was showing her. Now, was she on the chicken list? Absolutely. Like, we've all got people on the chicken list, right, that we want to talk to, but we're probably scared. And she talked to her again and just followed her up. Now, fast forward, I don't think she's even been in the company maybe 12 months. She has opened her own quantum wellness center, this doctor. So you can imagine the amount of tools from Solex that she has purchased. She is building a team because why? She's a neuroscientist, right? She wants residual income. She wants income coming in when she's not having to work anymore. She doesn't want to do this work forever in the way that she's doing it. She would much prefer to be able to come onto this side of it where she can work with people's brains without having to actually pick up her surgical tools. And she said that on stage. But how phenomenal that this woman is there on stage this year presenting at our Day of Discovery. Could you imagine the QLA sitting in the audience? If that were me, I would have been like, I would be so proud of myself for just ticking her off my chicken list, putting it out there. Whether she said yes or no is irrelevant, because at least then she knows about it. But she eventually said yes. And now not only does she get to educate so many people with AO Scan, she gets to educate us on the other side about what her passion is, the brain, and how frequency is affecting the brain. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal. And what she talked about was discovering your own unique wiring. So your brain has a signature pattern. So you can answer these 3 questions to glimpse what your wiring is. Now, there's no right or wrong answer. Everybody's answer will be different because everybody's brains are different. So if you look at the vision style, are you a big picture person or are you detailed focused? So do you see the forest or the trees first? Really interesting. And then decision making. When you're making decisions, are you making decisions with your heart or with logic? So do you trust your gut or do you analyze the data? And then action style. So do you lead or do you prefer to follow kind of step by step? Do you take charge and you charge ahead, or do you plan each individual move? So it's just, this is how she was teaching us to understand how your brain works and not to, I guess, judge not only yourself, but others as to how their brain works in that way. It was really fascinating. So decision-making styles. So emotional, so based on emotions and how it makes you, like, them feel. So trusts your gut, so trusts gut feelings and emotional responses. Considers impact on mood and well-being. Example, so choosing a career that feels right. So it's very much a feeling. So if you feel like you're in, and you can be a combination of them, by the way, like you don't just have to be one, but it's a really good kind of like self-analysis to go, oh, very interesting. Even when you're dealing with people, whether it be them, they're a client or, in business, they're a business partner, whatever that looks like, it's really interesting to be able to look at how people actually make decisions, because then you can, 1, understand them better, but 2, assist them in making their decision. So intuitive. So quick decisions based on experience and pattern recognition. So relies on past experience and automatic responses. Fast, often subconscious assessments. So for example, an experienced doctor quickly diagnoses symptoms. They don't go and look down, you know, as to let's go look for the root cause. It's just a very quick, intuitive answer. It's like you go to the doctor with cholesterol. I have the solution here. Here's the Band-Aid. We know they've got lots of Band-Aids. Vision and values. So guided by core beliefs and an overall vision of the end result. So aligns choices with personal values and long-term purpose, considers the bigger picture and achieving the end result. So for example, choosing eco-friendly options despite their higher cost. So, you know, really evaluating that. And you're probably listening to this going, oh, I'm probably a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's 100%, you know, definitely right. You'll be probably a combination of at least two of them. And then analytical. Based on the, I'm definitely not this. I actually laugh even saying the word. Based on detailed analysis of pros, cons, and data, systematic evaluation of information and options, logical, methodical approach using facts. So for example, creating spreadsheets to compare job offers. I'm absolutely not about it, but I'm sure that there's many of you on this call who are, so that's cool too. Action styles, how you learn, so how you move forward. So leading others, so are you a leader where you take charge and guide teams towards their goals? Natural leadership qualities and vision, comfortable making decisions for the group, motivates and directs others. So example, like a CEO launching a new initiative. Or do you prefer working in a group? So you thrive in a collaborative team environment, value consensus and shared responsibility, contributes expertise while supporting team goals, builds on others' ideas. So for example, like a project team member contributing to specialized skills. So this is just good awareness more than anything else. Leaning on wisdom of others, seeks guidance and mentorship, values expert advice and proven strategies, learns from those with more experience, makes informed decisions based on counsel. So for example, an entrepreneur consulting with industry veterans. Operating independently, prefers autonomous, not nurse, just autonomous. Oh my gosh, I decided to add my own part onto the end of that word. Self-directed action, works best with minimal supervision, takes personal responsibility for outcomes. We should always do that anyway, right? Values freedom and flexibility. So for example, a freelancer managing their own projects. So again, it's not about judgment of which you are or which others are. It's actually more about being able to understand the way that other people's brains work. So I just found that absolutely fascinating. These are just some other little clips from, there was one of the speakers, I swear to you, he was the funniest, one of the funniest guys I have ever seen. The girls got to meet him at the Legacy dinner. I think you girls met him, right? Did you get to have a chat with him?
No, not personally. He did get up on stage and do a speech. It was more of a story about his life. It was funny as well.
Isn't he just hilarious? I love him. And for those of you who are on the call tonight, I would love at the end of this call for you to share what you're most excited about, I guess, from our takeaways from DOD. And then I'm going to send you a copy. He actually has a TED talk. This guy, we were obsessed. We just didn't want him to leave the stage. Matt Townsend is his name. We have a video for you guys after this call. Just when the call's finished, go into Frequency Soul Collective chat and just pop a comment in there and I'll send it to you. But this was really cool. So, so how do we do it? You cannot attempt to solve a problem that you created at the same level of thinking you were at when you created it. I really loved that. It's so true. Like if there is a problem that you have and you're still in the same mindset of when you created that problem, that is not going to help you get out of it. You really need to do the mindset work and the shifts, clear your energy to be able to then think clearly, to be able to make different approaches to be able to solve that problem. So I'd actually never heard that from Albert Einstein. I don't know if you guys have heard that before, but I actually had not. So I really love that. That was one thing I definitely took a photo of the screen that day. This I really love as well. He talked a lot about responding to people and how we actually relate with people. So recognize, he calls this real. So recognize their emotion so that they feel like you see them. So you could be having a conversation about, let's say you're talking to them about the AO scanner. It could be well above their head. Like they might not know frequency and energy and all of the things, but empathizing with them and relaying that and relaying it in a different way and letting them know that you see them is really important. Explore their story. So I hear you. So ask questions. Asking questions is one of the most powerful thing in any conversation. Attend to their starved stuff. So letting them know that you feel them. So there's that real emotional, there's something going on that's underlying. Let them know that you feel them. Lift the conversation. I'm with you. So let them know that they're not alone and you can do this together, whether that be problem solving, whether that be them understanding what you're talking about in relation to, like it could be this bottom one of like lifting the conversation. It could be an objection, like I would really love to do this, but I can't afford it. Yeah, I'm with you. I understand that. Let's have a look at how we can make it affordable for you. Because one of the things is, and this is a question I used to ask people, you know, I can't afford it or whatever. Cool, no worries at all. Let's put the money aside for a sec. Forget about the money. If you could afford it, is there something that you would just go, I see it, I love it, I need this right now? Would you do that like right now? Would you just go, yep, sign me up, I need this? And if the answer is yes, then you know that it's a genuine money problem. And then you can solve that. Let's talk about how we can solve that together. If the answer is no, then you know that there's another objection of maybe it's just needing clarification of something else. They may have other concerns or other questions that you just haven't answered yet. So a no is not a bad thing when you're talking to someone. It's just, I loved, you know, that Matt talked so much about asking more questions of people, not just leaving it there. Because if someone says no to you, and we're just using that as the example, it's just an invitation for you to get more information. And it's not you being pushy, by the way. If you think you're being pushy, that's in your own head. You're just going on past experience. Like you've been chased down the shopping center by someone from like the Surf Life Saving Club or the RSL. You know, that's what's going on there. That's your stuff. You need to get past your stuff to be able to help others. Hopefully you can hear this. Could you guys hear that? No, okay, I'm going to try and turn it up a little bit. Give me a sec. Which button shall I press? Oh, not that one, Rosie. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is any better. Otherwise, I can pop it in the chat. Better? Thumbs up?
Trying to get into all of it.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want on the internet itself with the expectation that you're going to get better. If you lay on your mat with the expectation that you're going to get better, if you utilize or illuminator expectation you're going to get better, if you believe that to your core, body has absolutely no ability to reject the orders. And your body will do what it is expected to do. Your body will do what it is commanded to do. Because ultimately, it is you who is in control.
That is Dr. Daryl Roberts. He is amazing. He is seriously next level. I love listening to him. He's entertaining, but he's very educated as well. And this is something I preach about all the time. Your perception on something or your story on something is your reality. So the truth of it is, if you're using a wand on someone and they don't believe that they can get better, I won't work with people who don't believe that they can't get better. If they don't believe that they can't get better, that they can get better, there is absolutely no point in working with them. And I'm sure Madonna and those of you who are practitioners would absolutely agree. You can't do it for them. They have to have that belief. So if you're using the wand and there is a belief there that this is helping me, this is of benefit to me, it will 100% work. And that's really important to know. Dr. Darryl also talked about the attachments to the illuminator. So for those of you who have or are looking at getting the illuminator, they have like the little cone attachment so that it can be a little bit more, the red light can be very much more directed to either a meridian or pressure point, acupressure point, whatever the case may be. They are available in your back office now as well, which is super amazing. Here's just some highlights. You'll have to excuse the end of this video. There's some photos that are not really relevant, but hey, this is just a few little bits and pieces. Oh, here's Dr. Darryl again. This is what he was talking about before. This is just, again.
Not kicking in back.
Oh, it's not? Can you not see that? The video?
Oh, okay. So there's no noise.
Oh, there should be. Bugger. Let's just fast forward. Oh, shivers. Hang on a sec. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I just did there. I was trying to fast forward the video. No, keep going, Rebecca. I'm just going to check the chat while you guys are watching that real quick. This is Dr. Darlene.
Get there.
Can you guys hear that or no?
Get there through breathing and meditation. Get there through listening to therapy something. Some time there and figure out who you are. And get stronger with the belief that this is exactly what you are designed to do.
All right, I'm going to pop that one in the chat later for you guys. That was Dr. Darlene, by the way. This is our leadership team. So as you can see, like we have so much room to grow. This is just the platinums at above that were at DOD. A lot of the ladies attend the leadership retreat in June. So for those of you who are wanting to reach leadership level in the company, that will be happening again in June next year. So there's plenty of time. You just have to have qualified by April, I believe. Qualified the rank of platinum or above, and you will have the opportunity to head over to Utah for a leadership retreat, which is really cool. I've been there a couple of times. It's always good fun. So these are just some more photos. It's just some highlights of DOD, just being able to catch up with lots of people. That's Kai and I hanging out at the, sorry about everybody else. At the wellness part, that's when I was sitting there under that. I really needed it that day. This is at the office. I don't know what I was doing that day. I looked really tired, but we were having lots of fun. There's Mari having a cuddle with Kai. It's really cool to go over there and get up close and personal. We had a meeting with head office as well. It's too crazy. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. We had the best time. It was too much fun. As I said, I don't know why these other videos have been put in here at the end, but that's okay. It was still fun. Goodness knows even what plane we were getting on at that point. And here's some of the wellness center. You're probably not going to be able to hear Emma giving us the tour, but this is the theta chamber. And that particular day, pretty much everyone had gone on the Tuesday. So this was really, unfortunately, Addison and I were supposed to be there, but randomly our flight got pulled forward 24 hours, which is absolutely stupid. But anyway, we had to leave early. So the girls got the Quantum Wellness Center pretty much all to themselves. Detox Foot Spa, the theta chamber again, there's another one. I'll get one of the girls to share their experience in that. That's the infrared bed. LED light bed. The hyperbaric chamber. So that's their new hyperbaric chamber. You can actually fit 4 people in that one. So they were in that for an hour. You can just sit in a really comfy chair. In here, they do a lot of treatments like facials. There's the mat, the wand, a lot of different treatments that they do in that room. Another detox, foot spa, goodness knows what else. Oh, I've done that vibrational machine. That's cool. It does work. It's really cool. I don't know what it does, but it's good fun. The hub. So they've got the hub set up there for their clients as well. So for those of you who haven't, well, most of you probably have not necessarily been to the wellness center, but were wondering what it looks like or thinking of opening a wellness center yourself or something similar. Where Mari's walking into that room there, that's actually where they have the rain. Oh, that's all the massage chairs and things. But yeah, this one on the right, if you see those big stand-up, like what looks like lights, they're actually Rife technology machines. So there's 4 of them all actually pointing into a certain direction so that the entire room fills with Rife frequencies. So that's pretty cool as well. So that's the theta chamber. What an incredible experience. And yeah, the girls basically had almost that whole place to themselves, which was pretty cool. There's Mari on the theta chamber, and there's M, and I think that was that Troy M with you? Yeah. It's so funny with that blue light. It's like bizarre. But yeah, you get oxygen on as well while you're sitting in the hyperbaric. And you usually sit in the hyperbaric for about an hour. So that's a pretty cool experience. But just being able to immerse yourself with the technology of what we work with, there's something really special about that. So yeah. Em, do you want to unmute and just tell us a little bit about what you girls experienced there and how you found it?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So the theta chamber, so many people say, oh my God, I'll be sick on that. Like, you literally do not feel it spinning after the second, or like probably the second round goes around. Like, you just don't feel it spinning. It feels like you're just floating on air. It is, yeah, it's an experience. Like, it's hard to put into words. It's the hub on steroids, but so incredibly peaceful in there. So definitely one of my favorites. And you're just being able to go to that wellness center, and especially because we went the day before as well. We just popped in because we were at the office, and it was packed to the brim with people. And then we went the next day and it was so dead. There was like nobody there except a couple of locals. And I think a couple of QLAs did pop in while we were there. But yeah, it was incredible just to have it all to ourselves. We got to speak to Vicky, who's Lauren's sister, a lot. So she really ran us through all the information on what all the devices do. And we really had her attention for the most part of it while we were there as well. And yeah, it was amazing. The whole thing was amazing. The DOD is incredible, and I definitely recommend people come next year. It doesn't cost as much as you think either, guys. Like, I think it was like less than a couple of $1,000s for us to, like, with including flights and accommodation and everything. It made it much cheaper because we all stayed together. So we would love to have lots more of you guys there next year and really have an Aussie representation there, because we were definitely the loudest there, but imagine if we had a few more of us there. But yeah, no, it was really good. I can't fault it. And just we want to go to Utah and just be able to go and do so much more stuff next time, because it is an amazing place. There's so much to do. Everyone was so nice. Like, it's just, I don't know, they have this unsaid confidence about them, the American people, that I really, really resonate with. And I just think it's an incredible place. So definitely on my cards again next year and every year.
I love that. And what did you think about Utah as a place versus like somewhere like Los Angeles? You know,
Oh gosh.
yeah, like a lot of people haven't been to Utah, but how spectacular is it?
You can just feel the energy for one, but
Yep.
it is immaculately clean compared to LA. Like, LA is such a dump. And the energy there is so different as well. Like, everybody was just so friendly. And I just couldn't believe how clean it was. Like, everything was clean. The roads were immaculate. Like, there was no rubbish anywhere. The roads ran perfectly. You've just got to go and experience it yourself.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I wanted to show you this because you probably can't hear this necessarily, but it's just music in the background. But I tell you, I have not laughed this hard in so long. We ran into some of some of my friends who are part owners in Solex as well when we were up in Park City. This is one of the most famous ski places in the whole of Utah. Like, we just had the best time. This is where we went to pay our respects to Charlie Kirk's memorial. This is the beautiful crater that has natural mineral water in it, that we went on a road trip out to this beautiful little Swiss town. And that whole day was just something really, really special. We would love to do a sound healing in there. So for those sound healing, those of you out there, please,
Nancy,
please come next year. You're coming.
Nancy.
We are going, Nancy. And Sue Ellen, you're coming next year.
Oh, and Sue, yes, I forgot
There's
about
Mari.
you, Sue. So you're in.
We just had, oh my gosh, we just laughed and laughed. I don't know why the photos of us like on the plane keep showing up, but this is Utah. The girls went to Sundance Mountain on the Tuesday. Was it the Tuesday you went there as well, like after I left?
I can't remember now. Yes, Tuesday, Sundance.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Sundance is absolutely scary, but amazingly fun. We were so
If you're
scared.
scared of heights, it could be a little challenging, but brilliant. Like, look at that, breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking.
It would be amazing to see it in winter with the snow. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So fun. Look at that scenery. It's just magic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty nice up there.
Yeah. So we show you this to entice you for next year, just to show you the things you can experience and, you know, this life that we're here to be lived, you know, like get out there and see different things and, you know, form new bonds, like I say here. So much fun, adventure, laughs, and beautiful connection, both as a collaborative, but also individually as well. It was very, very special. So this is Sundance Mountain in Utah. So there we go. So the question is, who's coming next year? So pop it in the chat if you're coming next year. I don't know if Mari's here. Mari, are you there? She might have fallen off already. Otherwise, she can share her story next week. And I know that Jules fell off. Jules, did you get back on? Oh, she mustn't have, because I didn't let her back in. But yeah, for those of you who, the girls can tell us their story for sure next week. Are you going to be coming with a new baby, Rosie? Or are you going to leave baby at home? Karen Mason, you're on the list for sure. I'm writing your names down, by the way. Did you know? Gary, you won't be the only other bloke, I can assure you. Oh, Solix baby needs to come. I was like, is that Nancy saying Nancy's coming? I'll take that as a Nancy's coming, yeah? Danielle's coming. Who else is coming? Fiona, yeah, B. I'm writing all your names down. Because seriously, guys, like, you set the intention now, Sue Ellen, yeah. You guys set your intention now, honestly. You tell the universe that you're coming. I can honestly say to you, and I'm going to go into this more next week, the biggest takeaway, oh, there's Mari. The biggest takeaway that I got from this entire event was how you do not have to know everything to do this business. And in fact, you will never, ever know everything. And it was really just about being given permission to get into it and just do it, you know? That was probably, I mean, it wasn't a message for me because I do that anyway, but it was just something so, you know, taken, like brought home by the speakers that I was like, we need to share this with our team because you can do this, whether it be that you want to be a bronze, silver, gold, or diamond. It doesn't even matter what the role is of what, you know, or what rank you want to be, or whether it's an income that you want to achieve. There are people, everyday people there like me, like you, that are doing this. And if this is something that you really desire, that's all that it actually takes is the desire. I promise you, you can do this. So I know we've gone a little bit over time and I do apologize for that. We're going to get into so much more next week. There is so much more to fill you in on, but I've already written your names down for those of you who are coming next time. So that's cool. And I already know there's a few not on the call tonight who have already said to me, I am 100% in for next year. We would love, love, love to have you there with us and, you know, have Australia representing, as well as, you know, the rest of our team from other countries as well. So for those of you who are keen, we would definitely love to see you there. So it's super affordable. I think I actually paid about $1,200 for my flights. I think they were, I don't think they were that expensive. So when they're on sale, we'll have the dates soon enough. You can just keep an eye out for it. But join us next Monday night. We'd love to share more with you. And there's a beautiful photo of Mari, Vicky, who is Lauren's sister, Julie and Em at the Wellness Centre. And there's, of course, a photo of Kai and me. And don't worry about the other people. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Don't forget to go onto Frequency Soul Collective chat and pop in there either your biggest takeaway from tonight or that you're coming next year, and I will send you over this really cool video by Matt Townsend. He is an absolute legend. So thank you again. We really appreciate you joining us here and taking the time out of your night. And I'm just going to stop the recording and say goodnight. So thank you all. We'll see you soon. Thanks everyone. Good night.